Hello everyone. It's been a really long time since I've made a video. I actually tried to make one on Christmas Day, and I actually did make a video, but I didn't do anything with it, so you're never going to get to see that, I don't think. Well, the whole seeing family thing wasn't nearly as eventful as I thought it would be, mostly because half of my family went to Ocean City. They went to the beach, and so they're nowhere around here. So I actually didn't see a lot of the people that I thought I was going to see, and everyone who I did see has already seen. But I do have a couple stories, so I guess I'll just share them all really quickly. So I go to college about 6-7 hours away from here. Well, by car. By plane it's like 1 hour. But I have a friend who lives probably on a 10-hour drive from there, like going in the same direction as me. So I drove him most of the way. I drove him to my house, and he stayed at my house for a night. And it's the first time I've ever had a college friend come home and, you know, see my family and stuff like that. And probably I would have not brought anyone home. Like, I wouldn't have brought someone back who didn't know I was trans. Just because, you know, there's pictures of me from, you know, a long time ago on, like, the refrigerator, on the mantle, you know. So I wouldn't bring someone home if I was worried about being outed. I never shared that information about him knowing that I'm trans with my family, so my dad and my brother. And I'd already given them the whole spiel, like, months ago about how none of my college friends thought of me as anything other than a biological male, so they had to be really careful and all that jazz. They were under the impression that a lot of people didn't know, and that he could possibly be one of them. But anyway, I have this one friend slash neighbor. He's like a lot older than me, so, but I guess he's still my friend. But he's my neighbor. He's mainly my dad's friend. And he was like downstairs with my dad, and they were hanging out, and I brought my friend down there because that's where I was giving him a tour of the house or something. I don't know, it doesn't matter what I was doing. Basically, I went downstairs where my dad and my neighbor were with my friend, and I introduced my friend to my neighbor. And, you know, my neighbor and I have like this, we never are nice to each other. It's like the only interaction we have is like banter and stuff like that. So he was going to try and make a joke, and he looks at my friend and he goes, "How much did she have to pay you to be her friend?" Awkward. My neighbor assumed that the whole world knows that I'm trans. Like, it's like how I introduce myself or something. So it was, he felt bad, but he didn't feel like he'd done anything excessively bad. Like, okay, so then he tried to save himself, and it was still like in a joking way. I like went over there and I put my arm around him like, "You can do it." And he's like, "How much did he have to pay you to be his friend?" And I like fist bumped him like, "Good job, buddy." And then I kind of just like walked off. I heard my dad talking to my neighbor, well, because we were just like right in the next room, and my dad was like, "You know, he has a lot of friends from college who don't know that he's trans." And my neighbor was just kind of like, so I walk back out there, and I walk up to him, and he, like, beckons me, and I walk up to him, and he's like, "He knows, right?" And I'm just like, "Yeah, he knows." And I said, "If he didn't know, though, I probably would have punched you." Story number 2. A lot of you probably know that, as of right now, I am on the men's rugby team. But in high school, for 3 years, I was on the high school girls rugby team, and it was the best possible experience I could have asked for. I love being on that team, and I love that team. I'm really glad I'm on the men's team now. Anyway, there was this person on the girls rugby team that we called the rugby mom, and she was the mom of one of the girls who was on the team for years. But like, she genuinely cared about everyone. She remembered everyone, and stuff like that. And I was going Christmas shopping, and I saw her, and she's not my friend on Facebook. And that is the only form in which I officially came out to everyone, including my rugby team. And her daughter is on Facebook, so her daughter knows. I don't know if the rugby mom knows about my transition, but I saw her, and honestly, like, I don't give a fuck what people think about me, but just, it was her. Like, that was the first time since the hormones and everything where I've met someone, and it actually made me nervous what they would think. Like, I didn't want her to think poorly of me. I thought I was like past that whole phase of awkwardness and not knowing if people knew, and not fully being myself around people, but I guess there's still a couple people here and there who still make me feel that, like, nervous, uncomfortable feeling. I also had my two cousins who've already seen me. They saw me over Thanksgiving but this time they brought their mom, my aunt, and she wasn't able to come for Thanksgiving, so it was the first time she saw me since transition, but she knows all about it. And she complimented my voice when she saw me. She thought it sounded really rugged and manly, so that was nice. But of course, she hasn't seen me in a long time, and she only sees me a couple times a year. So she was surprisingly really good with pronouns, but not perfect. And I absolutely will not hold that against her because she never sees me. But and she never used my birth name. Like I said, it's really easy to get my name right because it basically was a nickname that I've always had. But she did use my birth name a couple times because she was telling a story about me when I was little, like toddler-aged and stuff, and she didn't even realize she was using the wrong name because she was talking about my past. Again, not holding it against her. It wasn't that bad. So, she's really good, surprisingly good with pronouns. My two cousins are pretty much really perfect with pronouns, but they still stutter, like, just because it's hard to get used to it. Like, they'll hesitate, or every once in a while they'll substitute my name for a pronoun, or they'll stumble over themselves, or they'll make a mistake every once in a while. My dad's the same way, even though he sees me all the time. But my brother is flawless. He doesn't hesitate at all with the pronouns. I don't understand how he's so good at it, because it seems to be really hard for everyone else in the entire world, and it takes him a while, but my brother, his sentences are smooth, so I'm proud of him for that. Even around his friends, even around everyone, he doesn't feel bad about it. He corrects people. I couldn't ask for anything more with him. And I just have one more story. It's unrelated to transition, but I want to rant about it because it gets on my nerves. This video is already long, and like I said, this has nothing to do with transition, so if you don't care about stories that have to do with towels, then you can stop watching and go do something else with your life. But okay, so I had these towels in my bathroom, these blue towels, and I put them on my towel rack, and they matched my bathroom. They were the correct color blue, and before you use a towel, they're like all nice and soft, and then once you use it and wash it, they're not that soft anymore. And these were my decorative towels, and I didn't want to use them because I wanted them to stay soft, so I just kept them there, and they lasted a couple months with no one using them. And then my cousin came over, and she used my shower, and she used those towels, and I was very nice about it, even though I was like, oh, you used my decorative towels, and I was just like, oh, you shouldn't use them, now they're not going to be soft anymore. And I was joking with her about it because it would be really lame of me to get mad over towels and their softness. But that was a long time ago. In the past, I was over it, but I figured she got that I didn't want people using my decorative towels, and I explained to her that it made them not soft anymore. Okay, fast forward to, like, last week. I have this towel. It has my birthday on it, but it's still special to me, that my grandma got me when I was a really, really little child, and it was, like, custom made and stuff like that, and I've never used it. I've made it 18 years without ever using that towel, and my cousin came here, and she used the towel, and now it's going to be not soft. After 18 years, she used the towel, and I felt really lame for getting mad over a towel, so I didn't get mad, and I was like, I just kind of looked at her, I was like, I've never used that towel. And she looked at me and went, I know, that's why I use it. I figured you've probably never used that towel, so I should use it. And I'm like, don't you remember when you used my decorative towels and I was upset about first world problems. Can't believe she used that towel. I can't even. Okay, that just let off some steam. So for anyone still watching, thank you for listening to me rant about towels. And goodbye. And I'll see you all again soon. Yeah. Goodbye.